Okay, you guys, there's a lot of information floating out online. Some of the local residents are coming forward, some people that knew Nolan and some of the other boys. People are speaking out and they're giving information that, of course, the investigators and the police aren't releasing to the public. And they probably shouldn't be. But there's a lot of talk about the deleted messages, that phone. His parents have the phone now, or his mom has the phone now. I hope they get that phone to a forensic analyst and somebody that's outside of Mississippi, because if anything is handled in that state, I wouldn't trust it. Or anybody within that county, or within 100-mile radius, I don't know, just the whole damn state. They're going to want to protect these white boys, these white kids. I hate to put it that way, but it is a color issue now. And also the fact that they play football and things like that, they are not going to want these kids to have their careers destroyed, their opportunities to go to college and things like that. So they absolutely, my daughter went to private school, and anytime those kids got into something, their parents were right there trying to shoo shit away, as a parent should. But in this instance, with something as serious as somebody dying and nobody knows anything, somebody has to do something. There are new details spilling out. So far, we're hearing that the sheriff hasn't officially made the statement, but they're ruling it a drowning. So his parents are getting an independent autopsy. That's going to happen at Quantico. I don't know much about that. Shout out to Max Vault for telling me. And they also hired civil rights lawyer Ben Crump to assist with getting a thorough investigation, because they know locally they ain't going to get it dealing with them people out there. They did not want to give the parents the phone. That's crazy. It sounds like the mom had to get the police involved or get somebody to get in there and get that phone. I don't understand what took so long. So to me, there's some evidence on that phone. That's a key piece of a lot of what's going on, that phone. So we're going to listen to a bit of this audio. Shout out to, her name is Janice Ayers. She's on YouTube and Twitter. Go check her out. She does true crime, and she had a panel of Nolan's friend. I believe the young lady's name was Alexis, and she was speaking out. Now, my disclosure is this person says she's his friend, but I cannot validate that as a fact. But I believe her based on the information she was providing. So you make your own decision about that. I'll play a bit of this, and then I want you guys to go listen to her, the entire live on Twitter, because, I don't want to play all of her stuff. Alexis says those boys had his phone, and another piece of information that she shared was that his body was recovered with bruises. That is enough for me to believe that there was foul play. And a lot of things that we've been hearing online are just not adding up. But let's listen to the audio.
Alexis, I just wanted to come up here and say that Nolan was my friend, and that all these stories going around, even from our point of view, because we're getting it different than what the public is seeing because we're behind the scenes. But they definitely did something to him, and they're all trying to change the story. Everybody that was near that boat is trying to defend all their other friends, and every time you talk to a different person, the story is changing. What do you want to know?
So what exactly happened from you guys' side?
From our side, there was an altercation with a different boat, which had other kids on it, black kids, and there was an altercation. There was a fight, something happened, and they went back to their respective boats or whatever. And when his best friend was on the other boat, so when he went to go check up on Nolan and everything after the fight, Nolan's boat was gone, but they had stayed for a couple more hours. And so when they got back to land, they had his phone. So Nolan didn't even have his phone. The phone was at one of the boys' houses, and they didn't want to give it to his parents, and they had to send somebody to go get the phone from his house. That's why, when we checked his location, everybody was thinking that it wasn't serious, because we saw his location and said he was in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, at his house. But they wouldn't give his phone back to his parents, and they were seen eating out the next day.
Wow.
And when somebody asked them, hey, why aren't you out looking for your friend? They said, y'all already think we did it.
Did what?
Exactly. And then also that night, they were seen at multiple parties when they got back from the island around 7 o'clock. So they still continued to go out that night, knowing that Nolan wasn't with them and that nobody had seen him. They're obviously, yes. Right. But they rode on separate boats. There was supposed to be other black people on the boat with Nolan, but they got told last minute that they couldn't go because there wasn't like enough space. But the story that they keep trying to push out to everybody is that the boat was sinking and taking on water, and they were telling Nolan that he needed to get on the boat, but Nolan wanted to stay back with a girl that he never met, which he wouldn't have done, because if that was like, we're all from the same surrounding areas. She goes to Moss Point, which is like 20 minutes away. Why could you not hang out on land when you got back? So that was like the crazy thing, is that they're talking about, oh, the boat was sinking, and he didn't want to get on the boat, and the boat had to get towed back. But if that was the case and he said he wanted to stay there, why did you take his phone back and not leave him on an island without a way to get home? There is some speculation, like this is just like hearsay, that the boat was owned by this dude Wyatt, but when the boat got brought back, it was parked at Warren's house, which is his mom is the judge or whatever. And somebody said they drove by like later that night, and like they were cleaning out the boat. Like it was like dark night, not like regular time when you would clean out a boat. It was like later at night. And then there was a girl on the boat that's not in any of the pictures, or wasn't the girl that he was talking to. And when she got back on land, she turned off like her Snap location, but her best friend still had her location on Find My iPhone. And she was at, all of them were at one house for like 4 hours. Or somebody did get in a fight, and that somebody got hit, but this was on land. It wasn't in the water.
Okay, see, because I've heard and read certain...
And I have to say allegedly. They may have scrubbed the phone, too.
That's also what I'm thinking.
Because Sam told us that the body was moved. Can you confirm that?
I have no topics on that, but it's just very it doesn't make sense how his body was found in the first place that they looked.
Yes, and the reason why I'm asking that, because if his body was moved, they could have used his face to unlock it and then put him back.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Do you know if the person that seen them outside at night went to the police?
I'm pretty sure he did. Because they're supposed to be getting polygraphed, but they all said no. And they said, I don't, like, this one is definitely, I saw this one on Facebook, but they said the DMR released that he had bruises all over his body, and so did his grandfather.
So those are details that were given by one of the young ladies that is supposed to be a local there, who's gone to school with these kids, who knows them, who has partied with them in the past. I mean, a lot of stuff. That phone missing, the fact that the mom or whomever had the phone didn't want to give it to his parents, the fact that they're talking about the boat being washed, this whole thing about the boat taking on water and all of that, that seems suspicious and weird to me as well. You know, the last people to see him, when you look at those videos, there were tons of people, like hundreds of people out there, right? So nobody saw anything. Even if his friends left, I'm sure, I mean, there's people who would stay around probably damn near till midnight. Nobody saw anything. Interesting that they talked about how he washed back ashore where they had already searched, like, was his body moved, or did, and then taken back or something? Was it put someplace on the island until they could get back? It's like so many questions. Another thing that's weird to me is the fact that one of the guys did report him missing, but at 11 o'clock. If you guys left this young man at 4:30, you have his phone. You guys should be smart enough to know everybody uses their phone. Did you call around and ask, where was he? Did anybody did y'all know anything? And everybody keeps saying, if we come together, we leave together. So you mean to tell me none of his friends, quote unquote friends, thought to call another friend or somebody, because it sounds like it's a pretty tight-knit community. Everybody know everybody or something about somebody. Nobody thought to say anything or to call a friend to find out who got back on the boat. Did y'all go look for him on the island once you got back? It's so weird. So there's about a 7-hour gap where people didn't even know this young man was missing. That's weird. That's very weird. All the activities that allegedly went on at one of the houses for 4 hours, they went silent and they were all together. What were y'all doing? What were you guys doing with the phone? So many unanswered questions, you guys, but jump in the comments. Please, if you can think of anything or you detect anything, put it in there so we can talk about it. Because, the online detectives, we gonna figure this out. But anyway, you guys, I'll see you on the next video. As always, keep Nolan's mom and dad and family in prayer. Bye.